So, we're doing reggaeton now, huh? My friends, Caramel by Sleep Token is out, and I believe I was one of the first people to hear it along with my Australian mates. So I felt really lucky. It was 1 a.m. here in Lebanon. So I clicked, and right off, it was nothing that I had expected. Probably the only thing I predicted and got right was the same thing that most people predicted. It was that melody in the intro. Because when the band was teasing the song, as soon as the people read Caramel, they thought sugar. And I think we can say we got that right. Just that. Now, like last time, I'm gonna try not to get into the lyrics, because that by itself is a whole different topic and a huge one, because apparently there's a message for a certain group of the fans. All I can say is that the lyrics are another thing that we did not expect, and definitely something that will completely alter our perception and analysis of the whole album. So let's get back to it, because these guys really did the very last thing that I expected them to do. Well, I don't know how to say it. They played DEMBOW. You know DEMBOW? The DEMBOW beat? The one that goes like this? Yep, I hate to spoil it for you in case you haven't listened yet, but they did. I don't know how, but they did it. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that these guys have gladly checked yet another genre off their list. Let me just say that these guys, like every time they play a new genre, a genre that's not theirs, like trap and electronic, they did it perfectly this time too. Definitely sounded odd to me the first time I heard it, and that's natural, that's just inevitable. But they sounded really good, they sounded awesome, the vocals, the harmonies, they were awesome. They added their own touch to it. And then, here comes a beautiful, delightful and dancey chorus. I love how not only did they add their own touch, but they also blended it with the alluring and exciting vibe of reggaeton. And by the way, if you listen carefully, that bass sound, that's the same one from Aqua Regia. Probably also used on tracks like Ascensionism and The Apparition. It's a cool little thing. Is it a callback? I don't know. You decide and tell me in the comments. Here comes the king himself too on the drums. Still going funky, but also very intricate and tricky. And I just want to say, I hope the mixing of this album does not bury the drums, because I think it did on Take Me Back to Eden. I think many of the chops and fills during the heavy parts were not very discernible. But so far, with Emergence and this song, I'm hearing them better. The song builds up and here comes another chorus. So lively, this music so full of life. Beautifully layered, heavy but not too heavy. It's also got some poppiness. It's heavy and light at the same time. And all of these elements are blended carefully. There's no concentration on one thing. It's really powerful, and I love the chord progressions and the intervals that it's creating with the sung melody. A nice bridge back to reggaeton. It's also really emotion steering. And you know what's coming next when Sleep Token does this. It's calming before the storm. Here comes the heavy breakdown. I think somehow this album is gonna be even heavier than Take Me Back to Eden. Somehow they're gonna do it. But wait, there's an even bigger surprise. All of a sudden these guys decided to go black metal? You know, the first time I looked at these guys before I even heard them, I thought they were a black metal band, and now they decided to prove me right. All of a sudden, 2 decided to play that blast beat. No, 2 has played blast beats before, but not that blast beat. All of a sudden, these guys decided to turn into, I don't know, Mayhem, Emperor, or Cradle of Filth, I don't know. But wow, they actually did it. They were capable of doing all of that and then adding this. And also add their own touch, you know, with the versatility and the clean vocals and the melodicness. But it's really a lot. You're gonna have to listen to this multiple times just to absorb it and process this whole thing, because there's a lot going on in this song. And finally, it all collapses, it all crashes and burns with that sad, melodic, and emotional outro. This is awesome. This is amazing. This is a lot to take in. Mind-blowing Sleep Token is back. This really started up one way and ended up a whole different one. I really salute and respect these guys for actually pulling this. So overall, Caramel is incredibly surprising, emotional, and impressive. A song that will leave you speechless. I think I'm gonna like it even more than Emergence. Here's the thing, I love Emergence and I've been playing it very frequently. But the difference between Emergence and Caramel, for me, is in the first impression. I reviewed Emergence in a previous video and you can go check it out. I basically said that at first I thought the song was great but could have been done better. But with every listen it grew on me and now I love it. I think it's great. On the other hand, I don't think that way of Caramel. Because while listening to it for the first time at 1 in the morning, I was blown away. I love it already. And I think not only did it live up to the band's standards, but also pushed the limits. These guys have confidently added not one but two genres to their playbook, and they totally sounded awesome. It didn't sound forced, it didn't sound like they were trying to do something that's not theirs. And this is what I love about Sleep Token. This is not the first time that Sleep Token get me into a genre or something that I normally don't enjoy, or something that I'm usually not overwhelmed by. I mean, these guys just played reggaeton better than most reggaeton artists. And they're not a reggaeton band. I guess the only thing negative that I have to say here is that I still think they need to work more on their transitions. I still think, the way they're moving into the heavy breakdowns is blunt and forced and a bit abrupt. It could have been smoother. And that's all I'm gonna say today. Thank you very much for watching. You tell me your thoughts now in the comments. Did you enjoy the new song? Do you have some criticism for it? I'll see you next time. Please take care of yourselves, and as always, have fun.